Are recording in progress. Yay. We
We
didn't
are
flip a
recording.
coin. We didn't flip a coin. So I'll get started and then you
Okay.
can like pick up where I like veer. Um, Welcome to MVP Office Hours. Today's June 19th. It's Friday. It's also Juneteenth, and many folks have the day off, but we do have some folks on the call who have questions and concerns and well, I need to socialize. So our upcoming scheduled MVP office hours are July 17th and August 7th. We are going to take off the July 3rd day because, well, I think most offices are either closed or half day. And so please enjoy that time with yourself and all that good stuff. You can register for future MVP office hours at bit.ly/MVPOH. All caps, please. And then you can find recordings on YouTube. We typically meet the first and the third Fridays. You can follow Squire and I on LinkedIn. We're fairly active. I think I just posted something today about the podcast. We talked to Josh. Josh, last name is escaping me because my brain, Josh Burke, of Trailhead. Um, but we've got some upcoming events. Next week is World Tour Boston. And then Texas Dreamin' after the 4th of July weekend, Midwest Dreamin' right after that, Witness Success, Buckeye Dreamin'. And then August rolls into SoCal Dreamin' and Mile High Dreamin', and then we get to Dreamforce. You can see more of these events as they pop up at your convenience at salesforce.com/events. Thank you. As always, we invite everyone to share their experience and insights and ideas with the group. Links and resources, if you post those in the chat, that's helpful for everyone to click because reading out a link, as you just heard me, doesn't always go well. We are recording, we are recording, we are recording, we are recording. Please do not share any private or proprietary information. Under no circumstances can our call be transcribed by an AI tool. So if that's your plan, please don't. We do want to have fun, but we want to keep everyone keeping their job. So let's stay professional and positive and tell a friend, invite a peer, and who owes Steve a beer. Um, um, the QR code on the left is the success community for MVP office hours. You can take a snap of that, or we'll put the link in the chat when we get to it in a second. That's that for this is our, and then we're on to questions, right? We had two
Yep.
questions, comments in the community, and they're on the next slide, Squire.
Before we go there,
Oh yeah.
maybe really quick, I was asked in a private message about why we don't want AI transcribing, and I think I think we probably need to reevaluate what it says there. So
Oh, we can do that.
yeah,
So the reason that we ask that and say that is we had a couple instances where someone invited a transcription tool and then they went and posted all of our content. And if you want to be here, that's great. We're glad you're here. But if you want to host your own call, you can do that too. But the conversations that we have here are for this group. And if you want to listen to the conversations after the fact, that's fine too. But, Squire and I work really hard to do what we do, and you all work really hard to get through your real world problems. And our suffering isn't for someone else's content, is really what it comes down to.
yep.
So,
And I just want to make sure because the conversation that I had was simply like, well, I like to have this for like follow-up, like, oh, cool, personal use, awesome.
yeah,
If you're gonna
take
use
notes.
if you're gonna use it to like pad your clicks, then that's a different problem. So
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think maybe we'll update this slightly just to make sure that
I
we're understanding.
I don't want AI in the meeting.
Yep.
You all can, listen to the YouTube later and do something with it, but do it the hard way.
Yep. Thanks.
Yeah, that's me being salty because AI has entered so many different parts of my life, and this is also like a volunteer space that Squire and I host. So Michael, do you want to talk to us about
Mm.
settings and profiles and perm sets?
Yeah,
Is this a bug? Is this a like a challenge? What are we getting to?
I think this is a bug, and I don't know
What?
if it's just me. So I kind of wanted to see if, others on the call, if you're logged into an org, if you can see what happens. But I will show you what happens. So
What are you doing editing profile? No one uses profiles anymore.
I'm
I get
not. I found this in a permission set, but I think I
it.
found it in both
It's
places.
in both places. Oh boy.
Yep. I said if I go into the permission set editor,
I see it. I see it. I
okay.
was reading your text that you had put for us.
All right, so let me see if I can share. Okay, so this is an org. It's a real org. This is a prod org. Don't worry, you're not seeing any data because this is a permission set. If I go here, if I go here, I'll clear it out. If I
Yeah.
go here and I type contact, that's more than enough that I should find contact. It doesn't find contact, the object. If I do contacts, the full name, nothing. But I can go to object settings and scroll to my heart's content down to contacts. There it is.
Or contracts, whatever. Yes.
Right. Well, yeah, that R can be confusing. What the actual, it used to work. I know it used to work. Look, it doesn't work for account. It doesn't work for, this is an
If you
NPSP
t
org,
if you
so
type if you
payment
type object,
object.
yeah, I'm reaching. I have no idea.
I mean, object
Like,
settings comes up.
right, and it doesn't nest is what we're
I
saying.
noticed
Right.
the
No,
same exact thing, Michael,
I
like a week
wonder,
ago.
I wonder if that's in some way not able to accommodate all of the custom objects and everything that everyone like throws in
but
here.
I'm looking at
It's
standard
terrible.
objects.
No, I understand. I understand, but I'm wondering if there's some kind of that's a mess. I feel
I
like
know this used
that's
to
a
work.
huge
Like,
mess.
I mean, for sure it worked a month ago. I couldn't tell you if it stopped
Do
working
you do
a
you
week
think
ago
that
or 3 weeks
if
ago.
so if you click view summary,
Yeah.
um, do you think that that somehow like replaced the need for that?
Well, it sure as hell didn't because
I
that's an extra
agree.
click.
I agree. I'm just asking a
You can't even
question.
you can't go into the object from here. It's not
Oh my
clickable.
gosh.
Um, and I've looked in other orgs. I've
Wait,
found so
wait,
far
wait. What
what
happens if you hit edit?
I hit
That
edit.
Yep.
Well,
Then
right, but that still doesn't change the
That
tree.
allows me to change the
yeah, but you were talking about like being able to see it and edit
Right.
it from
I
the
want to be able to
previous-
edit the field level security on it.
He wants to be able to click into the object so that he can get
Do
to the
all the
next
things.
layer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of a hefty
So I'm
pain in the
curious,
tail.
anyone
I
else finding this? Oh, I'm not looking at the chat. Yep. Okay. Cheryl's on, I saw on said we should talk to
yeah,
Cheryl. Cheryl's on medical leave for a month.
yeah, she's on leave right now, but I do think Michael, this is worth like a couple of screenshots and push
I
out.
want, yeah, I mean, I think it's a, yeah.
Do you
I
know
feel
is
like I
it
should open a case and it's
yes,
you
yeah.
know.
Is this a sandbox or is this you said it's a production org?
This is in prod. I've got another prod org open, not the one I'm sharing, not the window I'm sharing. Same problem. I had one other where I did not see the problem. It came up.
But because I'm, I am in the middle of like a greenfield project. What version, like is this summer 26 is landed here?
Yes.
Okay. I'm wondering.
But I think the other one that I found it, hang on, who did I not find it? Oh, okay. Let me see if I can open the one that I think it didn't happen in.
Yeah,
I mean, if others have a question that we should move to.
No, Monique asked the question about what browser also, so
I'm
not
in
that it
Safari.
matters. Yeah.
I'm in Safari. If anyone has not having the problem consistently in Chrome, I'm curious.
I'm in Chrome
Mike-
within org and it shows for me contacts
me
for
too.
cases.
Oh.
Now, hang on. Did we have some of the question was, do you have differences on your custom object volume? Meaning the environments in which it does not work, you exceeded some certain limit that is not fully aware. Whereas the one where it does work, you have a lot less custom objects or standard objects.
Yeah, there's just some variables to poke around at. The only reason I ask is because maybe, there's some kind of limit on the number of things that that search is going to surface. I don't know. I have zero understanding about.
Those are interesting questions. I don't believe any of my
Mhm.
clients have a drastically different volume of custom
Right.
objects from each other.
Mike,
Right.
could you do something for me really quick? Because I had it happen, and then it stopped happening. So go back to
Oh,
the beginning of your demo.
okay.
So like, right, like go to the search thing. Okay, now do me a favor. Search for contact or search for account. So you're not getting any objects. So when I searched for contact, it didn't come up. Then I searched for account and I got objects. And then I went back to contact and then it lit up. It's almost like it's doing
Like a
like a
quick
recent
find.
list kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Uh-huh.
But that I didn't know it was supposed to do that. But like because you're not even getting the object
Yeah.
um what do you call it? Like that
Mhm.
subsection, right?
Right.
Hmm. Interesting. I mean, not interesting, frustrating, but
And yeah, and inconsistent. So I'm logged into two other orgs, and let's see, it's working in that one. And is it working in this
Is
one?
and Michael, I'm assuming there's some
Not
consistency
working.
across your setup interface. Like there's some toggles, right? With
I
user
mean,
setup.
I'm sure I don't have 100% consistency across them because
No, that's why I said
you
I'm
know,
sure you have a great deal of consistency because it's easier for you to work that way, right? Across
yes,
shit that works.
yes.
And I'm just wondering if any of them are maybe like out of sync with whatever you're expecting somehow. And that's maybe excuse me. One of
Certainly a
those things.
possibility, but I don't think so.
But
Yeah.
my point is they should all be behaving the same anyway.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
It's just like finding what the variable is because the behavior is not consistent. So interesting. So interesting. I've been spending more time with Inspector on perm sets lately than I have been in the interface. So
maybe it's a what do they call it? Like a subliminal reason to go to Agentforce for setup.
Hmm. Never gonna happen.
They're embedding bugs so that they're like, oh, Agentforce for setup would be good for that. So
it's part of change management. Like
Because
yeah, right,
because I
right, right.
because I really want to have to type, please take me to the permission set named, oh wait, I don't remember its name. Crap, I think it's this. And the in the settings, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work because I can confirm I did the quest earlier this morning and I literally
Mhm.
copy and pasted the permission set and it was like, I can't find us. Can you please try again? I can't find us. Can you please try again?
Right.
Hey, I found it.
it's
Thanks,
like
Agent
the
Force.
it's like the local version versus what it's hitting is not in agreement. Also, it's very strange. It's very strange.
Another
I
strange
wonder.
thing I'm seeing is I went to another permission set and I typed in like opportunity or contacts. Nothing showed up for the object settings. I typed in accounts, it showed up. And then when I search opportunity or contact, they're showing up now.
Yep. Same.
Like it
So it's
needed
like
it needed to be nudged.
resetting.
It needed to be woken up. Like, hey, we're gonna do this. Hey.
But that's
Or
it's applying
it's
to when you
building the
switch
index
permissions to
behind
look
the
at.
scenes. It's just not
Mhm.
there yet. You just got to be more patient, Michael. Let it sit for an hour.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It's still cooking. All right.
It's oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
But no,
Well, I'm glad I'm not the
Okay.
only one, but I'm now even more confused because it's inconsistent even for me across orgs.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this is illuminating because I didn't know you can actually get to a specific object. I always used it for app and system settings, never specific to an object. So this
Oh,
is
I saved so
educational
much.
for me. So thank you, Michael, even though it's not helpful
Well,
for you right now.
there's
Yeah.
also the conversation that's been had about those object and field settings going to permission sets and off the profile. So that could also be like a malicious compliance kind of situation.
No, but I'm first of all, I'm looking here in a perm set, not a
Oh,
profile.
right.
And this is an org where I have turned on the slider for
Mm-hmm.
permission sets when doing field creation or whatever the hell it's called. Um,
Yeah. So interesting. But I wonder because it's almost the same setup, right? The permission set versus the profile. It
It is.
looks right.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if there was that some sort of setting that hit both of them somehow when
Yeah,
they're
no,
trying to like
that
feed us
makes
over
sense.
to perm sets, but it like hit both perms and profiles. It's so interesting. I mean, with a system that is 25 plus years old, like, are we surprised about
Yeah.
an
Have you
inconsistency?
clicked a link to learn more about searching, Michael?
I have never clicked that link.
Yeah,
as
I don't think you should. It's probably
Help
it's
for
a
this
trap.
page.
It's a trap. Don't click it.
Help for this page.
If
Some
no
guy.
results appear, check if the setting you're searching for is available in the current organization. Well, duh. Yeah, that's not a useful page,
No.
as I'm sure you knew. Um,
Does it matter if it's no? Because you're in profile now. It does not matter. Never mind.
yeah, I tried going to profile. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in case you're wondering, I am in fact a sysadmin.
Very
Not
strange.
some sort of, semi-sysadmin. Okay, well, I guess I will try opening a case.
Michael, are you seeing anything with global search in this org where it's not working the way you would expect? Because
You mean like this search?
uh, that search or even global search outside of setup, because it's going to use the same search indexes to return you that data versus what's in the setup list. So if there's something with the search index where it hasn't refreshed, that would be an avenue to open up a case and ask them to look at your search indexes and refresh them if necessary.
I mean, I haven't noticed anything, but I'm
Okay.
not even sure how I would unless I was searching for something specific and it didn't come up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good question, though.
But yeah, I think describing it with a case and
That'll be fun.
Are you using the most recent version of Safari and
Yes.
Chrome? I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
guess
have
I
no
should log
idea.
into the same org in Chrome. I haven't done that
The
yet.
Chrome is the recommended browser, Michael.
I know, screw them.
some good
They
natured
claim to
ribbing
support
today.
Safari 100%.
Some good natured ribbing. That's all. That's all. Oh man.
I don't
All
think
right.
there's any more frustrating than something as simple as that and not working.
Well, and it's
Well,
just like it's so annoying because if I need to edit a couple of objects, it's like, oh, now I need like 4 clicks per and scrolling per
Mhm.
object when it used to be type 4 characters and click. You
Yep.
had to be
Mhm.
patient. You had to type 4 characters, wait 3 seconds, and then click. But still,
But can you do the refresh and see if that works?
so
If you
what
do-
refresh are you referring to?
Can you show your screen? I can't remember
Yeah.
off the top of my head.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's this one. Yep.
So on your icon, excuse me, your avatar up top right, you do you switch from comfy to
Company
compact.
compact.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen that make any difference in the back end.
Yeah.
But what the heck? I mean, I do that all the time. That's why I was in comfy because I usually live in compact. Good idea, but no.
It's not plural. I know that.
Yeah, it's not, yeah.
It is. The object is. Look, here's accounts. It's plural.
When you search though, it doesn't pull up plural. Like
Yes,
because the API is contact.
It does. I'm looking in the
does.
other org that I'm not screen sharing. It definitely wants the plural or works with the
No,
plural.
like opportunities is plural, at
Yeah.
least.
I only ever type oppo, but still.
Because if I type opportunity with a Y, I don't get opportunities.
Exactly. That's why I only ever type oppo, because if I get too far, I'm screwed.
Would you do me a favor? What was populating as you were typing before you got to the end of it?
Which one?
When you're doing contact, it started to load a bunch of stuff, and then as you filled, yeah,
Well, right now it's showing contract stuff.
yeah, but not object stuff, so it doesn't matter.
Not
anymore.
object
I just
stuff.
wasn't
As soon
sure.
as I had an O.
well, what was
it's
the
just-
more button?
What does the more do?
What does the wait?
So
And
in the
it's-
search, in that smart search
Yeah,
that comes up, there's
those-
more, right?
Yeah,
If
those
if
are
you hover
related
over
to
that,
each subtitle or subcategory.
right? If you hover, do you get more if you click on that, or what happens on that?
I don't have the more anymore. Where
There
did it
is
go?
one under app permissions. There's a more, but I understand what
Oh,
you're
there.
saying.
Oh,
You can't. You
It's
can't.
not even clickable.
let's try the other browser and see what happens.
So I came in late. What was the issue?
Are you kidding?
No,
I couldn't see who said that.
No, the Christy did. Christy said, so in the permission set search,
Mhm.
objects are not coming up,
Oh,
which
okay.
is kind of a pain in the butt, right? Because it's like, how do you get like we used to all just come in and type account or contact or opportunity or whatnot, but now it's like instead when you get to your permission set, you have to go to objects and then click through. You can't use the permission set search to get to objects.
And I appreciate that because my assumption in my head when I was listening when I got here was that accounts wasn't going to come up because he's on the account page instead of going back all the way to the top. So that was my
Well, there's also the wrinkle that it's not consistent across orgs or browsers.
Mm.
And we have no idea what this is tied to. Do you know, Michael, I wonder is it permission sets that are tied to a license or not? Or is it
Yep.
permission set groups? And I'm wondering if that has anything to do with this.
I know permission sets can be tied to a license, but I work very hard not to do so.
Okay. I was just wondering if maybe that
when
was
forced.
another variable that
Yep. Yeah.
about why objects aren't coming up in the search, but I can't imagine why they would try to make this harder for admins. Like,
No, I mean, surely nobody made this change on purpose.
lots of things don't happen on purpose. I mean,
Yes.
I heard about someone turning on, Agent Force credits without telling anyone.
Or enforcing step-up authentication. Oh, sorry. Too soon?
That sounds like fun. Ooh.
I mean, I heard someone, burn through a bunch of credits that they weren't supposed to. And
I'm
then-
going to switch my screen share and show you this same org in Chrome. You can see.
Oh
by
God, that looks so much better to me. This is what I'm used to. This is what I'm used to. Whew.
Okay.
Is it that orange banner at the top?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can make that
Doing it.
here.
Yep, that's what I'm used to. I'm used to that orange banner.
I just had made that go away in Safari.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
it's
mm.
doing the same thing. It's not a browser. It's not a cache.
Okay,
Good thing to have checked.
it's very interesting.
Okay.
You could look at developer tools and see if there's any failures, like across site, because it's going from setup to another site, or any rendering bugs. I don't think you're going to have any. It feels like search index, but you could look in dev tools.
I mean, you want to guide me on a click path because you're outside my actual knowledge.
Which do you want to try it in Safari or Chrome?
Your call.
I love it.
Let's-
I love it.
In Chrome, it's F12 to open it.
I'm on a Mac.
I'm on a Mac too. You don't have function keys?
I guess I do have function key.
I love the
What?
shade that we're
I
throwing.
never
on-
use it.
Yeah.
on
What do
Mac
I
and
do to not
PC
make?
and
Oh yeah, there we go.
Safari
Did not
and
change your
Chrome.
volume.
Yeah, no, I use the function button. I got it. Here we go.
Go to network as a tab. And then type in the box as you go, and we'll see if we get anything.
Type what?
Just do one of your searches.
Account contact.
Oh!
opportunity.
You're saying back up
Yeah.
here, type in that box. Wait, why has this like?
Just drag the frame down.
Oh yeah, okay. Tell me if
No,
you're
it
seeing
didn't.
anything
It
interesting.
didn't return any. Usually errors will show up in red.
Makes sense.
You the XHR is a cross header, so that's where it's going. from the one domain to the other. So if there was something in there with cross-site protection, it would stop it there. Since you're getting other results, it was a long shot, but
Okay.
just something to look at.
Yep.
Yeah, I would go with the case at this point.
Fun. Okay. Thanks all.
Fun exercise.
Oh, On wants me to do it in classic. I mean, I could.
Oh, no.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Run like the wind.
Okay, so hang on. I will say that I operate most of my setup stuff in Classic unless it's not available in Classic.
You have got to be kidding me.
Hold up, let me defend my position because
Seriously.
I do a lot of things manually, unfortunately.
So do
and
I.
do a shit ton of comparison, and I absolutely hate that Lightning, whenever it launched over 10 years ago, made a whole bunch of shit in setup as JavaScript buttons that look like hyperlinks that are in fact not hyperlinks. So when you right click and open as new tab, it goes, oops, I don't know how to do this. So
Okay,
that's why I do it in Classic.
That's fair, but I also do a lot of stuff manually, and 99% of the time you can't control click or command click to automatically open a new tab, but you can actually right click and choose open a new tab, so you can get things open in new tabs.
No, I struggle. I have a struggle bus on that one, so
All right, that's
I just
fair.
do it in Classic.
That's fine.
So what I just did for you was I compared my production org where I have industry clouds, both financial and automotive, none of the object renders, but in my dev org where I have nothing special, contact accounts, all of that fun stuff shows up. So there might be an upper limit that's not aware. That's just kicks that part of it out to render the other non-object stuff that's dynamic to show up on the indexing. So I would compare a quick count of your custom objects.
Well, I'm not in industry orgs, so I definitely don't have a huge number of objects. In fact,
I'm just confirming that the org that I have a boatload of objects in it,
Right.
it ain't working, and the one that's just vanilla, just standard dev org works just fine. So the hypothesis that someone had was, since this is dynamically growing and it's indexing, right? It might say, hey, beyond a certain point, just don't do it.
Yep, no, that makes sense. For your sake, here's that same org. I switched to Classic, and it doesn't work here either.
I told you it wouldn't work there. I told you it's the same thing.
I know, but I wanted to just show it.
Okay, thank you for affirming what I already confirmed.
Oh
All
my
right.
goodness. And we didn't think we were gonna have anything to talk about today.
No, and I wanted to jump in here because I wanted to. So I know we have another question from Sarah, but she wasn't able to join.
Right.
I lost track in the chat. Did anybody else have anything today?
No, I think we've all just been throwing shade at Michael.
And the reason I'm
trying to help Michael.
No.
It's all good. Look,
No.
nobody took pot shots at my tie-dye. I guess I'm not wearing tie-dye. Or my blot. I mean, you keep bringing it on.
So I say this because like I really think that it's a sanity check, right, Michael? Like, am I seeing this right? Am I like not remembering it right? Like it's a sanity check. And I think a lot of the questions we have here are literally just, did I imagine this? What happened? Like, and so I appreciate this question 100 times over because the number of times I'm like, I swear it worked in my past, but like now that like I look at my past and I've got I have some years with my Salesforce past now, and I'm realizing that it's a lot, and I'm like, oh, well,
You should ask Steve Mo if it works in his big org.
I promise you that this org is not my client with the most custom objects. That is for certain.
Does it work in org 62?
Oh, I don't have access to setup.
Do you know that if you'd like to hear more about org 62, we just talked about it in the podcast?
I know. I saw that. I haven't had it's a weekend activity. Don't spoil it.
I believe Mike claimed it was the perfect org with no tech debt whatsoever.
Boy, that's That's definitely a very false statement.
There's a whole team. There's a whole team.
There are
The-
multiple teams that do not talk to each other that work in Org 62. I will.
That's not what I meant. There is a whole team dedicated to fixing Org 62. Anyhow, do we have any
Hang
other
on.
questions?
We
Brahma
do.
has a
So
question.
I want to cut this off because it's the reason I interrupted a second ago
Mhm.
is I begged Carl to join our call today because a month ago we had a long conversation in this call, and there
We did.
was Think Like an Architect episode, and I know there's one coming up in 2 weeks about
Mhm.
maybe the same topic about API, MCP, headless. There was a lot of panic and confusion, and I begged Carl, I used my token to say, hey, Carl, would you come and be our expert if there are any questions? So if it's okay,
Mhm.
can we pivot to topics in that space and let Carl give us, like, we're not expecting you to give us the full hour from last time or the one that's coming up, but
Just
if you can
just
help
go
us.
at 2x speed, it'll be fine.
Yeah. So I think that if I can just kick it off and then I want to
Yeah.
open everything. I think the thing that we heard during that webinar, as well as I've heard multiple times since then, is why wouldn't I just use an API? Why am I using MCP? Why would I ever use Salesforce anymore if I don't have to log into Salesforce to do the work with agents? So, like, can you bubble up a response to those kind of like high level questions in 5 minutes and then open the door? Would you mind doing that?
Sure.
Cool. I appreciate it.
The reason I'll give you the reason why you would want to, and then I'll tell you why you should plan to, and then we can talk about the last part. If we look at the difference between an API and an MCP, an API, and you heard me say this, but it's dumb. It will tell a system to do something or to give you something. When you think about how LLMs, harnesses, the thought process goes, it's gonna maybe eventually figure it out, but it's gonna do it through trial and error. And if you've ever done agentic development and watched it deploy, it deploys, it fails, it fixes, it deploys. It would do that with your APIs, which means it's gonna iterate and make mistakes with your APIs. It's gonna get things that you don't intend to. If we think about the Model Context Protocol, MCP, that was designed specifically for these situations. What it does is it expands the concept of an API and says, hey, this is what we think you should use us for. This is a way to summarize your opportunities and give you a pipeline report. Here's what the inputs look like and what you need to give us. Here's what the outputs look like. So it's fit in more from a reasoning perspective. So rather than the agentic systems using trial and error, it's going to evaluate what you ask and say, this is the right, I'll call it a skill, but this is the right skill or tool to go execute at this point in time. So that's the kind of the fundamental difference. What you're probably going to see is if you are doing things agentically in the future, you may have to use the MCP. The APIs will not be an option for agentic type activities. And what was the last question you asked? Was it something around value or?
Just a lot of just high level. Stay airplane height as far as all the stuff
Okay.
you're.
I mean that's the high level where I see it going. If we think about other places that I'm doing things, so I built a demo recently where I showed a rep downloading a report and taking it to Claude, not going through APIs or anything, getting a pipeline saying I need to update opportunities, and then it writes back in with the person's login, right? Ungoverned, made mistakes, missed things. Versus now when you go, that's using the APIs. When you go to the MCP, there was very specific activities that you could do about I can pull these things and then I can create a pipeline report and update the opportunities back. So it was much more targeted and structured with how it made the updates back into the org and move the opportunity forward in the right process. Like that's kind of the high level. It's going to give you better precision. But questions, like we can go in any direction you want from there.
So maybe like from a messaging perspective to say like not everyone speaks architect, Carl. Sorry.
No, it's all right.
But like if I make this if I tell my delivery manager who doesn't know Salesforce what we're talking about, and if I summarize what you said as APIs are strict contracts doing very specific things, and the agents could use them, but they'll only do what the API does. And now we start to leverage the MCP to be able to let the entire iteration from point to point, but it's not point to point, be agentically generative and leverage everything that is coming. Is that my difference? Have I overstated?
I feel like it's more right tool for the job type conversation. Hey,
Yeah.
we have when we're working with systems, some systems have an XML format, so we use SOAP. Some systems have a JSON format, so we use REST. Well, agents have an agentic system, so we're going to use MCPs. Just like if you then turn it into functionality inside of Salesforce, well, we're not going to use e-signature to generate the document. We're going to use the DocGen piece. So you can maybe make it work with other ways. We've all done things we shouldn't with building things, but the idea is that's what's associated with it. And I think you're going to see in the future stronger language coming from Salesforce or stronger positioning of if you do want to connect agentically, the MCP is what you're going to use to do it. Oh, and forward-looking statements, please make all purchasing decisions based off.
This is why we don't use AI to transcribe this call. Yep. Okay.
Although if we had a soundboard, we would just hit that soundboard button. It's forward-looking statement play.
We're not that fancy.
So thank you, Squire and Carl. So I was the one that kind of repeatedly beat this drum about I don't understand, and maybe because I came from Cisco, where literally before the whole November 22 ChatGPT public launch, etc., my end users, the tech engineers, these are engineers of various different skill sets, some that created their own proprietary Cisco technology to, hey, I can reset your WebEx password real good. So various different levels. We had them as our main competitor in IT because they built their own UI called Quicker because it was quicker than Lightning. Sure. It was quicker in Lightning in loading. It was quicker in Lightning to deliver because it was citizen developed, and they were able to build all their different AI tools. They were able to get email to case logs and do a whole bunch of really cool things with it. And so I was like, well, what is headless just a branding marketing thing? Because they were able to do this no problem. They were able to assume things. And like the only time they really needed us was when we had to develop a new metadata level, like create a new object, a new field. Mm-hmm. That was the only time they really bothered with us. Everything else, they controlled themselves in the UI and they built it headlessly to their many different tools, Quicker being one of them. So that's where I struggled, Bus, about this topic was like, my people could have done this several years ago. What is the difference?
The main difference I see when you think about quote unquote APIs, yes, it looks or feels very similar, but every time with APIs, you want a different head, whether it be not in a browser, but on a mobile device or in voice or wherever, you're rebuilding it in that system. And yes, you're rebuilding the functionality, but you also need to rebuild the governance that goes with it, the security, the field level permissions, identity. Where headless from an architectural standpoint is changing that is now the things that you used to do external, like building a React website, you can do that on the platform. If we extend it to building agents, now you define the agent once inside of Salesforce and can put it, yes, in Salesforce and Slack and on a community, but you can also put it in Teams. You can also put it in Claude. You can also put it in ChatGPT. But as that executes, the full auditability and observability of that agent lives in Salesforce. So even though you're interacting out here in another system, you're not building 5 times and you're not going 5 times to monitor and understand, is that agent adhering to the guardrails and the instructions, and is it performing the way that we want, you go inside of Salesforce. That's the difference, is the speed and the maintainability collapses down to one place instead of doing it in so many different places. And we didn't talk about agentic coding, but that's another angle too, is how you build these things faster. But that's less on the user side and more on the builder side.
Thank you. Like conceptually, I'm down with all of that. I think one of the things that will make it real for me is to actually sit down and invest time with some of the things that unfortunately I had to miss, because our world tour in Dallas was the same time they did the hands-on developer MCP thing, and then locally we have some MCP things as well that I'm also missing because of other stuff. But once I'm able to sit down and actually consume that content, I think it'll be closer. But I think this is helping me get couple of inches closer to making it real for me. So thank you.
And the place I see most people starting, right, is how do I use the MCP to extend my Salesforce functionality to Claude, ChatGPT, those sort of places. So somebody wants to do something outside. I have customers, they're like, well, just give us a data dump. We'll dump the data in. It's like, no, you don't want to just dump the data. You want to have the history, the tracking, the security of it. So now it's enable the MCP. You can pull that information in. Then it becomes, well, now I want to start doing actions. And then you have the decision of, do you give them just mutations, which is what we call it, to do updates and creation, or do you give them object all, where they can do everything? Well, no, you probably expose your flows or expose your Apex to give them guidance around that. Then the next piece becomes more, are you going to develop that way, or are you on the agent path with Agentforce, and how do you extend out the agent? So it's different entry points based off of where the customers are and what you're trying to do. But to me, the enabling an MCP is the easiest first step to help kind of go quote unquote headless.
So to put a little concrete underneath that, Carl, assuming there's no technology challenges or governance or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I want to leverage Teams to update opportunities, and I want to use MCP, and I want to start using agents, and I don't have any skill set yet. So like, what are the things that I'm thinking about as an admin who's going to start to present this solution?
So I would break it into different pieces, because there's a lot of different things you're trying to do there, and they don't all need to be in place to make it happen. So the first piece would be, I want to view this in Teams. So you could do that today through building an external client app, which is what you use to exchange identity into Salesforce. You can enable the MCP server so that you then can query things agentically, and then you have a little bit of work inside a Copilot Studio to build your Copilot agent that you can ask a question and it'll retrieve data from Salesforce. Right? That's the first piece. The second piece may be then, well, I want to be able to change the stage of that opportunity. So then you have a choice. Do you expose the additional MCP servers where you can write back to Salesforce? You'll do that. It will inherit the user's permissions, but that would also mean that they could update accounts and contacts and anything else. And you may say, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to do opportunities. And that's where the first part's still declarative. You can create a custom MCP server in Salesforce and say, I want to pull in these commands, and I want to give you invocable Apex or flows that I have, or even Aura components or REST Apex, and it will only let you do certain activities. So you could let it just do the opportunity update. None of that really requires you to be in Agentforce or operating agentically. Make sense?
Yep.
Now, when you say, oh, we've created a pipeline review agent that will take specific things that we know as signals for our company and tell you next steps, what you should focus on. If you've built that, you're only running it in Salesforce. Now you may say, I want to have that in Teams. That's where now the headless experience layer, and We've changed the name a couple times already. We might change it again. So I'll usually just say the experience layer comes into play, where you've defined the agent inside of Salesforce, but it will render without you doing any additional development inside of Teams with an adaptive card. So then from there, it's going to give you the same experience as if you were in Salesforce, you're operating in Teams, and it's flowing back and forth. So it's a journey with different steps. You don't have to get to the hardest part first if you don't want to.
Appreciate that.
I had a question in chat. I wrote, can you,
Oh,
and then
sorry.
again, no, don't apologize. But again, I don't even know if I'm using the word correctly. So also educate me if my question is absolutely wrong because I misused
No,
term. But
we
I
have
wrote,
some.
can you bound the permission based on the surface in which you enter?
So we have some concepts that I think get a little bit tricky. And the first piece is the external app gets you an identity and lets you connect. You can connect in one of two ways. You can connect as the user, so as you or I, and we're going to then inherit the permissions that we have. Or you could create an integration user and everybody that's connecting would inherit the permissions that you assign to that integration user. So that's the first piece. The second piece is then what MCP servers that you have access to. Today, if we think just about Salesforce platform, you'll have access to all the MCP servers that have been enabled. There isn't yet the concept of RBAC or ABAC, role-based access controls or attribute-based access controls where you limit MCP servers to specific people. But within that MCP server, so if you think about something like reading objects, it then falls back to your profiles and permission sets. So if you can't read the case object, you're not going to be able to do that from an agent outside. I said on platform because if you want to consider MuleSoft, we have the concept of Omni Gateway, which lets you put those RBAC controls and more in front. So you'd call through MuleSoft, it would say, nope, this person can't get to mutations or this agent can't get to mutations. It's going to stop that from happening. Or, oh, the agent can't actually read an email address, even though the user can, it'll stop it from going back. So there's additional control layers that you can put on top. It's just not native in the platform. Hopefully that tries to start the explanation of what is a somewhat complex topic, unfortunately.
I will end it with this. Thank you both so much. And thank you guys for entertaining this thing. I do have to bounce because I'm getting my eyes dilated to get checked on and all that fun stuff. But thank you again. Happy Father's Day for those that observe it and have father figures in their lives. Y'all are amazing. And thank you again for allowing me to stay. All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right, we have 9 minutes. That was a ton of really good information. Again, thanks, Carl. I assume you'll be going into this sort of thing in more depth in this upcoming. Is it Truly Core?
Do we have a link for that
I will
upcoming?
Which thing are you talking about?
Yeah, there's a
so many
all the
things.
things.
API versus API versus MCP web.
So that's a think like an architect, I believe.
It is okay.
They're going through. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Scott's been talking to me like sometimes it does get confusing because the scenario as he has it today, and I'm probably stealing his thunder, but the external system that somebody was using an agent in needing data from Salesforce probably isn't a headless or agentic use case, right? Because it just needs some data, and that still there's an API pattern for doing that. If you think about an agent that needs to come in from a commerce perspective and, oh, this product is out. Do you want to ship to store? Do you want to pick up at a local store? Like that might make much more sense as agentic use case. So just because we say that, it doesn't mean that everything now goes agentic and MCP. Just like everything doesn't need to be headless. You still have plenty of times where you would log into Salesforce. It's not that the browser doesn't exist, but the browser isn't always required to do things before that you had to log in for. So it'll be interesting to see how this one goes because I know they're working on some of the details.
Thanks. Squire, thanks for putting that link in the chat. It's handy dandy.
And the reason I ask that question, but all of these questions is I think my message to specifically my team is we're not going to be able to avoid this. It's not
No.
like this is the future. It's not like a threat. It's we're going to have to figure out how to do this and do this well, or we're going to be left behind. How do we do that?
Mhm.
There's so much content. There's so many knowledgeable people like Carl in the world to help us. Ask the questions, start to
Mhm.
experiment, get ready.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks so much, Carl. Thanks,
Yeah,
Squire.
I was actually in Dallas 2 nights ago and was hosting CIOs and CISOs, and we hit on the Jurassic Park version. Like life will find a way, employees will find a way to use AI, whether you sanction it or not. Okay, we're going to use my personal account. Oh, you block that? Well, I'm going to use my phone and take a picture of the code. So it's
Mhm.
much better to know what you have going on within your enterprise and
Open
govern
the
it.
doors so you know
Yeah.
when it's being used as opposed to the workarounds for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
I
Squire, to your
totally agree
point,
with
like
that.
that's the tenor of it's happening whether you realize it or not. Make sure you know and control it.
Just like mystery data loads and credits being burned and
Yeah.
credits cost money. And all
What
this stuff.
happened? Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like
Carla, she's referenced it a couple of times. One of my engineers turned on foundations and burned through every one of the credits in production.
Oh,
Oh,
so
nice.
Squire, there was a massive data load that burned through MuleSoft
Yeah,
credits
yeah, for
for
years. Yeah.
for people that I know really well. Um it's the whole thing. It's like, like these mistakes cost money. And if you're not aware of how that's going to work out, then it's going to be a thing. But
I'm up to 111 million tokens used this year. So yeah,
It's not a contest, Carl. It's
no,
not.
it's not. Hey, listen, there's people with billions and tens of billions, but
listen,
it adds up.
if your email address ends with force.com, I think you have a different
Yeah, you
pocket
got price structure different, right?
change. You have a different change jar than we do.
That's true.
But anyway, we are just about at time. And so do we have any other questions? Anything?
I think you mentioned giving the link to that QR code from the beginning. I don't.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, to the
Posted.
MVP community. Yep, MVP community. MVP office hours community page. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
get that up for you.
we'll race to it.
Puppy, it's okay. I'm not racing you to it.
Okay, I'll get
I've
it.
got like 15 screens open. I can't.
One thing I've been personally having some fun with is noticing you, Joy, like randomly going wide-eyed and just like staring at things.
I told you guys at the beginning of the call I'm multitasking today, and
It has been quite entertaining.
I also have a 100-pound canine that is about 10 feet away from me that's waiting patiently to go out in the backyard. But and I have my team working on a deployment, and I've got a neighbor asking me to run to the store to pick something up for their kid, and it's a lot going on right now.
right.
Yeah. More entertaining notions, Rohan, would be on the podcast.
Yes.
on the
Yes.
Jam
And I
Pods.
will also definitely recap everything Carl talked about because, yeah, I totally understood all of it. All of it.
It's all good. It's all good. All right, friends. Well, I'm gonna get going.
Yep.
Squire, are you all done? And then
Yeah, let's cap it out. One more time, Carl. Really appreciate you
Yeah, thank
joining
you.
us today, and
Thank
now
you.
I owe you one. I don't know what that is, but I'll make good.
You don't owe me anything. Happy to participate.
Well, I appreciate it, and we
Figure it
appreciate
out
everyone tagging
somehow.
along. I hope you learned something today, and we will see you in a month because we're going to be off on the 3rd. Don't forget.
Yep. We're taking the 3rd of July off. So all of you go celebrate safely. Come back with all your fingers, please. Have a great holiday.
Bye, all. Thank you.
Bye.